Hi there, welcome to TDCat Tech, and today I am reviewing these. Doesn't really make any sense, does it? I wasn't going to review these, but I'm going to turn this off now and you'll see what I mean. So this is one of my little lights here, and this is the Nanlite Pavotube 15C. I wasn't going to review these because I just bought these to use. I mean, I've bought these products myself. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. I wasn't going to review them, but I really want to make a video on these as an appreciation as much as anything else, because these things are amazing. They're really, really good. And if you take anything from this video, it is totally that I would recommend you go out and get some, because they're super flexible, really good quality, nicely made. I mean, you can just find so many uses for them. And that's what I love about them, is the fact that I've just found so much to do with them, even though I bought them a bit of a spontaneous buy, really. And I was kind of thinking, oh, was that a bit over the top? Well, maybe I shouldn't have spent the money. But now I just use them for everything. So these, there's a 30C variant of this as well, which is twice as long. These are just LED lights used for filming, really, to light a scene or to just to modify some stuff or background stuff, ambient stuff, whatever. Really all sorts of stuff you can do with something like this. And they're LED, of course, but they are good quality LED. So these have a CRI of 98 and a TLCI of 95 plus. So as far as color quality goes, these are pretty much top notch as far as LEDs are concerned in 2021. They're decent, really good. And I'll talk you through how you use these and what you can do with them roughly. I'm not sort of looking at super detail here or anything. As I say, this is an unscripted review, but they are battery powered, if you so desire, and that is one of the best things about them, because they do come with power packs, and they come with just a little sort of little power pack which connects to a C7 mains connector, and they give you a really good length cable with that. So from the mains to the C7 connector is a really good length cable. The actual power pack lead bit is a little bit short, but it doesn't really matter too much because the power pack's wrapped in like a rubber sort of bumper almost, and you can untie that and actually strap it to something. So you could strap the power pack to, say, a light stand or something like that. So they kind of cater for that, and it's the mains cable that's the long bit. It's really good anyway, really good length of cable, nice to see. So the light itself, on one end you have your power in here, and then you have these two connectors which are used to join lights together. So you only have to adjust the controls on one, and you can connect a big string of these things together, and it will adjust the settings equally across the whole string of lights. It doesn't come with the cables to do that, and I only have two of these. I mean, I guess I could try it if I had the right cables, but it doesn't come with the cables for that. That's an extra accessory that you can buy. All the ends of although it's a circular tube, the ends are all kind of in a, what is it? Is it a hexagon? Yeah, I think so. And that's really surprisingly useful, because you sort of put them on the surface and they will always obviously sit properly, on the ground. They won't roll off or anything like that. Silly thing like that. Another company might have made them round to look nice or something, but they're not. They just sit really nicely and really firmly. They've got a good weight to them too. So yeah, that's one end of the light. And then you've got a power switch, which has got a rubber seal over the top of it. Nice. On the other end, this is the business end, so to speak. And we have a little display here, which gives you the information on your settings. And then you have your menu, you enter, CCT mode, HSI mode, RGB, and special mode. And I'll just come on to that in a second. And then at the end, the two controls to control the rotary controls to control the various functions, whichever you kind of selected, whichever are selected at the time. Let's have a quick go using this. So you can see the LED display here on HSI mode, which is probably the mode I use the most. Well, CCT and HSI. We have our hue here in degrees, and then we have saturation and the brightness setting here, which is currently set to 0. So if I go to this rotary control at the end and just nudge that up a bit, I get, let's say I go to 10% on the brightness setting, or close as I can get it. It's good enough. And we get a nice kind of red coming off the light because we are right there at 0 degrees on the color wheel. Of course, I want to get my stock sort of magenta color that I had in the background there. So I know that this is set to 300 degrees to get that. So let's just rotate that through and get that to 300 degrees, just slightly below actually. So 29, there we go, 293, that's good enough. It is quite fiddly to set, but it's not too bad at all. Now, if I want to change the actual color within that, I can adjust the saturation, because of course, when I reduce the saturation on that, I get a different color within that, if you like. So, you know, just to give you probably a better example, actually, if I just take this back down to red and I go to saturation and lower this down now, of course, if I've got that lowered right down to here, I've now got much more of a sort of pinky sort of color, which, yeah, I mean, it just gives loads and loads of options. And if I just go to the CCT mode now, that's much simpler, because that's just a matter of color temperature in Kelvin and brightness. So each of these controls here just do one thing, which is really useful, because you can just adjust the brightness and adjust this color temperature at any point like that. Just go down to 2700 up to 6500, go right up to full brightness. One thing I don't like about these products, there's just one thing really, and that is the fact that these controls on the end are hard stop controls. So they're always they're in a definite position. And what happens is, if I adjust the setting on one mode and this control is used for something else, if I then go into another mode, and I just touch this, it will immediately adjust it. So let's say this is currently set to, this one here is currently set to do the dimmer. So I can dim this right down to 5, and then I rotate this round, and then I want to change my HSI. Well, because the control is set near the bottom, it immediately jumps down to the very bottom of the HSI setting. So it doesn't remember where it was. It remembers it in relation to the control. Do you see what I mean? So you then have to kind of go up again on here to further up the color wheel, further round the color wheel, if you like, for HSI. And then if I go back to dim now, because the hard stop control is near the top, if I touch that, it's like right up suddenly to a really high brightness level. And that's one little thing I don't like about them. It makes them a little bit fiddly to use, but it's no big deal really, because ultimately once you've got these set up, they just stay in their settings. These things are bright. They don't always look it when if you are like any light, if you're using them in daylight or you're using them in a brightly lit room, they don't look that bright. But once it gets dark, you realize how bright these things are. You can have these just sat at a dim setting of kind of 5% or 10%, and they will light a room happily. They're really good amount of flexibility there, because you can get a lot of light out of these things. And if battery-wise, they say that these last for about 2 hours on full brightness. If you got these set on a setting of say 10%, these last hours and hours and hours. They just go on and on. So it's really useful, because you can just grab these, and I've used these, regardless of anything in here for lighting background or anything like that. I've just put them in our kitchen or something, just to create a bit of a mood lighting to go with some candles or something, and they've just sat up on a shelf and just had a really nice orange color. And if I go on to the HSI mode here, I've set these to the HS27, so just off the red like that, and then I get to put the saturation up to full. I've got a lovely kind of orange color there, and maybe, oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? But then maybe set that to just say 20%, and you get a really nice orange glow. Finally, special mode. Now this is kind of a bit crazy. Yeah, you can mimic sort of cop cars and candlelight, and I mean, this is great, because of course you don't have it. You're not supposed to have the light showing, are you? You're meant to have it kind of out of scene like that, so it looks kind of like I might be sat next to a police car, or there's somebody's pulled up. If you put sound effects with this, even in a room, it would probably look pretty good. But yeah, this is the type of thing you're meant to use. You might use on a set to just provide a little bit of extra ambient lighting, or to set a scene. With, in this case, a cop car, or what other modes have we got? That's brightness on there now. What other modes have we got? So candle mode, flash timer, and SOS mode, storm mode, so different types of storms, and then off. Yeah, just a couple of special modes. Again, not something I'm crazily interested in. Really, I'm just interested in the CCT mode and the HSI mode. That's what I want to use these lights for, just for lights, really. And yeah, I mean, I really couldn't recommend them enough. I think they are excellent quality, and they're just really nice lights. I'll put a link for them in the description. It's not a sponsored link. It's not an affiliate link. It's just to where I bought them from, Wex Photography in the UK. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you've got any questions on them whatsoever, I realise that this has just been a bit of an unscripted review. But if you've got any questions on them, please do put them in the comments. I'll happily answer them. I always get around to my comments within about 24 hours if I can answer the question. If not, I tend to leave them because otherwise, you know, just ended up putting on loads of comments like I don't know and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.